The Guy Davidson Story, Knucklehead, created by David Garden. These are the platforms the story will be told through. I plan on using toys and relics to first establish a brand with the children, which then would develop brand loyalty. I want to use action figures similar to G.I. Joes as well as motorcycles, kind of like Hot Wheels, in order for them to relate to the main character as he always rides a motorcycle. Gaming is going to be huge for this franchise. I want to focus more on mobile gaming, which would be drag racing and motorcycle racing, just similar basically to apps on your phone, just to kind of get users involved at the beginning. The first couple of games are going to be very generic, as the first one, like I said, just familiarizes you, kind of gets you involved with motorcycles. The second app is actually the really, like, kind of like the Starlet. Users can decide, design motorcycles that they choose to their liking, and then from there they're submitted to like a web page, and then people view the web page, vote for bike designs, and from that point the winners of the bike contest get written into the third phase of the game. Console gaming. You start off as Guy Davidson when he first started out in Special Ops. You go through many various levels, similar to Call of Duty. From that point, you could choose to go online or stay in campaign. It's also multiplayer, so you can get many different active points going on in one game. At this point, right after the Special Ops mission, is when you start seeing Guy's addiction number 1 start playing a role in the storyline. Guy's doctors believe he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, so it causes him to be heavily intoxicated most of the time throughout the storyline, as well as doing illegal narcotics. It actually was his wife who convinced him to start getting clean and clean up his act. They actually were expecting a newborn baby, so he started taking up addiction number 2, which was motorcycles. He stayed in the garage and just stayed in there hours upon hours. It was a year later, on their newborn's first birthday, that Guy actually went out for a street race during the birthday party, and he got into a really bad wreck. I want to use this part of the game to actually emphasize the story, because right here is actually where the story really takes off. It's when she crashes the car and he's laid up in the hospital, and that's when the monster from inside, is born. She dies. There's a picture of her, then the hearse, to emphasize the death. And then, then the monster really, becomes active in him, and he starts riding just to kind of ease his mind, because it was his own selfish ways that actually, killed his wife. In actuality, he actually tries, to deal with, his emotions by talking to someone, but that doesn't do anything. He needs to actually get vigilante justice in order to actually feel better. The game actually follows the story pretty much to the T. You could see him right here actually going to the wife's funeral and his newborn child's funeral with a shotgun. He's armed to the teeth to go out there and get some justice. Once Guy begins fighting crime, he starts riding sport bikes. He finds out they're a lot faster than the Harleys. And he tries to he goes around every night and just getting every little piece of action he can. And then eventually starts using semi-automatic weapons. So that escalates pretty quickly. And then he's actually wanted as an outlaw during the game. Once users playing Guy Davidson's character become an outlaw, you actually have a choice during the game if you want to remain an outlaw or if you choose to become a fully functioning member of society again by becoming a racer, a legitimate racer, and then you could actually start, you get a sponsorship, establish your name again, and you could work up the ranks in that way on MotoGP. which is sport bike racing on the track, similar to NASCAR. Here's another shot of it. Or if you're not into that, you could even go motocross and be a dirt bike racer, progress through various levels of that, arena cross and such things. Or, like I said, you could remain an outlaw, go race some havoc, go through other people's clubhouses, and you could have a lot more interaction with the story. Now here's why everybody likes buying the new games that are role-playing. Online content. Everything's better in numbers. Online content will offer the exact same stuff that the campaign would, just you could actually connect to a lot of other people that you necessarily wouldn't be able to sit in the same room with and play. You could form gangs and just unleash all sorts of hell on the cities that you were from. Right here is you guys are arming up for looks like an armed robbery even. The next one would be like street racing on sport bikes. You'd see all the different people's tags above their characters. That is the Guy Davidson Story.